Hello there, and you're very welcome to another episode of the Arkham Avengers FFPL podcast. You join me, the host, along with Eamon, Hector, and Captain Fantastical Mick, where we take a look to see how the managers in this league are getting on for the season. However, we'll also be talking about much more. So kick back, stay tuned, and enjoy. And here we are taking a final look at the season recap with the final managers of the Arkham Avengers Fantasy Football Premier League. This week we'll be taking a look at Kalish Bait, Real No Stars, Silverstroke, and Better Idea 22-23. And we must say, we didn't get our episode out last week because Eamon was unavailable and yet wanted to be involved in this episode. Eamon's with me here, and so is Hector. Lads, a warm welcome to you both.
Thank you very much. It's very good to be here. And I do apologise. I was in demand last week. I was not available to do the show, the recording here with you. And this is because of the carry-on with Radio Telefiche here. I had was interviewed by some of the news broadcasters of other channels, say on Virgin One, and also the newspapers. And I've been busy talking to different journalists about this, as I call it, the grubby an affair. So it is, and it's a grubby deal, and it reflects poorly on some of the managers there.
Okay, well, before we get any deeper into that, Hector, how are you?
I be very well, and I, as you know, I come in last week and you say, look, Eamon, he may turn up, Eamon may not turn up, and we waited and had cups of tea, and I go home to Brazil this Thursday coming, and it'll be nice.
Are you going for a few weeks?
I will be going for a few weeks, probably most of July. I come back just before the new football season starts.
Okay, well, that's great. That. Well, look, safe travelling, and you're always giving a shout out to your mother here, and Hector's hellos. Might as well tell her we send our best to her as well, and to the rest of your family there. Will you be doing anything nice while you're over there, Hector?
I will be catching up with friends, relatives. There will be some barbecues, some feeding out, and generally catching up with people. And my mama said, she keeps saying to me, you should go down to the radio station. You could say you're on the podcast here. I say, Mama, I am very happy where I am, but I think Mama's homesick for me. She wants her boy home.
Well, you're some boy, all right.
Okay, so as I said, we're going to have a look at the last four managers of the Arkham Avengers Fantasy Football League there. Eamon, Hector, is that your phone going?
Yes, that is my phone, unfortunately. This is what happens. It's the breaking news of RTE. People want to talk to me. They want to get my thoughts on that.
Okay. Well, if you could mute that or turn it off, it would be great. Hector's your phone on or off?
I never bring my phone into the studio. I be professional and leave it out in the table.
Right. So back to these four teams.
Well, can I just put this out here? Like, are you seriously going to take a look at these four managers?
I am, yes, Eamon. Why? Is there a problem with this?
There is, when you consider at least three of the managers that you've mentioned there. I don't think the show warrants this.
Well, hold on, Eamon. What exactly is the problem?
You're going to do a recap on several punters who did pretty much nothing this season. And I have a fear our listeners are going to turn off. They're not going to be interested in this. It's a lean season for footballing now, apart from the transfers. And we've got the Women's World Cup coming up shortly. England under 21s are doing fine. But when it comes to our nitty-gritty footballing, our teams, our premiership, it's a lean period here. I think that we need to tread carefully. We don't need to annoy our listeners here.
Can I put in something here?
Yes, Hector. What would you like to say?
Eamon, if I can address to you.
Well, of course you can, Hector, old boy.
I don't think it look good if we talk about all the other managers and then we don't talk about these four. I don't think that is very fair.
Now, come on, Hector. I'm looking at you and I say, back me up. I mean, there's many times now during this season when you have been saying there's very little to say about this, there's very little to say about that. What are you going to say now about them? Nothing. You're going to bring up the same old stuff that you've said all season and nobody wants to hear it anymore, dear.
Can I just say something here, Eamon? For once you speak good.
Thank you, Hector. I knew you'd say it my way, finally.
However, Eamon, if I may say,
What is it?
Now, yes, Eamon. What? Yes, if I speak now, I think in my view.
Would you spit it out? What is this?
Eamon?
Yes, get on with that there.
Eamon, would you allow Hector an opportunity to talk there instead of trying to interrupt him here and put him off his train of thought, his flow?
Well, this is Hector. He doesn't have much of a flow.
I think, Eamon, that is a very low belt. Why you say that about me?
Well, look, we're still 5 or 6 minutes into the show here and we're talking nonsense.
Eamon.
Okay, listen. I'll be as silent as the night is long, okay?
Hector, now you were going to say something. Good that I can talk, no? Hector, don't push it, get on with it. I see what Eamon mean about not wanting to talk about the managers. However, I think we have duty as panel to be non-judging when it comes to the league. We do the disservice to listeners if we ignore these 4 managers. We talk about them, I think. Good man, Hector. I think you're right. And you know something? Maybe it's a good job you didn't get that gig with RTE after all.
Well, look, going back to it, that's a bit of a mess. And I think we're still waiting for the facts to come out.
I heard this. I listened to this. You said last week that Eamon be busy with the RTE things. Yeah. This person that I wrote to, D Forbes, she was, first of all, suspended from her post. Suspended. Oh, yeah. And then the Tubby man say he is very sorry and nothing to do with him. And then the next thing, the D4, she has stepped down from her job and she's not feeling well. And then there's all this money that they pay the Tubby 3 man. And then actually he getting more money that no one knew about. The public didn't know. A lot of people in the RTE did not know. I wonder if I had got the job, would I be getting that sort of money?
Hector, I can't believe that you come out with that.
Well, I just had to wonder because I like to know what I be getting the paid.
Firstly, I don't think you getting the job was ever a runner now. Do you really think that?
Well, of course I think that. I could be a good man. See, look what I bring to this show here.
Yes, exactly. Well, Hector, there's a big difference between the Late Late Show and this podcast.
Hold on a second now, Eamon. What exactly are you saying there?
You can't compare our podcast with the likes of the Late Late Show.
Why you say that, Eamon?
The Late Late Show has been around for longer than our podcast, and it's big. It's got international guests. It has a reputation.
So what you're saying, Eamon, is that any the guests that we have had on our podcast, they're not up to scratch. Is that it?
I didn't say that.
Well, it sounded like that to me, that we are not getting the bigger international guests. Eamon, who are these guests you could talk about? They are friends of yours?
Hold on a moment. Can I answer the questions here?
Well, you know something, Eamon. First, you're trying to make little of Hector's application to RTE for the Late Late Show. And thank God he didn't get the show because there's an awful mess gone on there with it. And now you're knocking our podcast because we don't have the likes of, let's see, the Elton Johns, the Tom Cruises, maybe Harrison Ford, Jamie Lee Curtis, Peter Crouch, Dean Saunders. Is there anyone I'm missing there, Hector? We're missing loads of them, so I forgot about Raymond Menendez, the football manager of Brazil. Then there's the Gloria Estefan. She played the music. Maybe you could get the Irishman in, Stephen Kenny, Sean Connery, the guy he wrote the books. Maybe we have, the Bad Bunny come in. The what? Bad Bunny? What or who is that? You do not know the Bad Bunny?
I wouldn't have asked you if I didn't know it. Here we go.
Bad Bunny. Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio. He's from Puerto Rico. He's big in the music world. Well, I've never heard of him. He's not big in my music world. He's certainly not up there with the likes of Big Tom and Susan McCann. Are you saying Big Tom or Big Tom?
This is why, and this is what I've always pointed out. We are not in the same category as the likes of the Late Late Show.
Well, there's no need to knock us down, Eamon, is there?
I'm not knocking anybody down at this time.
Well, you're trying a good job there at trying to knock Hector down, and now you're trying to knock our own show down. I don't know what you're doing now, Eamon. Maybe you've got a gig lined up or something.
I have no gig lined up there. As I said, I'm independent. I am seeking to uncover the truth. We're not uncovering any truth here, are we?
What do you mean by that? We're not investigating anything.
Exactly. We're not delving into the murky world of grubby deals, under the table payments, that the barter accounts, the slush funds, the over-the-top expenditure that's been going on, and we're waiting for the facts here. Can I just put this out here? And then we can maybe move on. I spoke to eminent journalists there, and I asked the questions. The RTE heads have been in front of the Public Account Committee, and this is going to maybe bore some of our for our listeners here, but I think it's very important here. This has been going on since the start of March this year, when the auditors discovered there was something going on with payments. Big hoo-ha about the whole out of it. Tubbity stepped down, and then the next thing, it's all starting to come out weeks later about extra payments. Now, Hector, we put this to you. Patrick Keelty's got the job, and good luck to him with it. And the reservations about whether he should keep going with it there, because it's a tarnished show at the moment. RTE is tarnished. There's good people though on RTE. There's very good people. We have to remember that. I've been in that studio many times. There's good, honest people who are angry, who are upset, and they want to know the truth. The truth is being hidden from them at the moment, but it will come out. But getting back to Patrick Keelty, Hector, if you landed in that job, how are you going to repair the reputation of the Late Late Show?
Hold on a second, Eamon. Nobody said Late Late Show's reputation was tarnished. It's RTE. There's issues with the top brass there and what was going on with payments. Not the Late Late Show.
That's right, not the Late Late Show. But you step into that seat, Hector. Everybody's looking at you and they want to know what you're doing, what you're getting paid. What are you up to? Pressure, Hector. Pressure. You handle that.
Yes, I can, Eamon. I tell you this, the pressure is for the tires.
For crying out loud.
Okay, I think we should pause and stop. We have gone way off tangent. We need to get back talking about football. Can I ask you a question? Yes, Hector. The Mick, he's not joining us?
No, he's not joining us. He is in Florida at the moment.
Florida? He gets about this guy, doesn't he? No Camino walk this year. Saudi Arabia 1 week, Florida the next week. Any idea what he's doing out there?
Not much. I think he's talking to some football clubs out there, but other than that, we don't know. Back to the football.
You know something? Maybe the TV was not for me. Maybe the radio is for me. You know, Eamon, you would think perhaps maybe I'd be better for the radio?
No. Eamon, don't answer that. Do not answer that.
What do you mean, Dad?
You and Hector take up that discussion when we're off air, okay? We are not going into that. We are going talking about football right now.
Well, okay, if you put it like that, I suppose I'd have to.
Down to business. Kalish Bate finished the season in 11th. And it's fair to say this manager didn't really appear to engage a lot of the times. Hector, can you talk to us about your opinions, your view on this manager?
As you say, they finished in 11th place. And this season, they finished with 1,912 points. It is, they were 104 points of 10th place. This player went, to the trouble of picking a team. Then Vemus, they do no work. They do not come. There's no output, no engagement. There are no interest. And if they return, then they need to do more work. It don't matter how way went up. They could end up bottom of the table. At least if they are trying to do something, I appeal to them. The Kalishi Betty, if you're coming back, please don't do this to us. This is not fair. Please, I put my hands together. I pray. Thank you.
In 12th place, then, this season was Real No Stars with a total of 1,887 points. Eamon, you might share your thoughts about this manager?
Well, I don't have much to share. And when it comes to the star side of things, there's nothing really starry about this guy. Ineffective, inactive, there are words that come to mind here. It's not for the first time that we've looked at this sort of chronology here. And they've been in this league before. They're not new to us. They started off in 8th position in game week 1 and actually they got themselves up to 5th place in game week 5. And then it was the slippery slope all the way down. The one thing that galls me about these managers, they never made an effort. They completely just switched off there. And I actually believe that this guy has no idea how to manage. And I certainly don't think that we will be seeing him back next year.
So you would say he's for the hills?
This guy was for the hills months ago. Actually, he's probably for the hills before this season kicked off.
Okay, over to Silver Stroke, who got a total of 1,850 points and finished in 13th place. Now, this was their first season, of course. Hector, what's your opinion of this?
Yes, of course, as you say, it's their first season. They started off, after all the managers, they were late joining. We give them credit for that. The manager have a lot to learn, and they need a refresher on the use of the transfers, how to use our chips, maybe a little knowledge of the players, who to bring in, who to bring out, who to bench. Then I think they feel more in the game. I would like to see this manager back next year. I think they have a lot to give. I think maybe they were, how you say, Eamon, lots of rain coming down on them and they have no shot.
I have absolutely no idea what you're trying to say. Were they up without an umbrella?
No, it is the word. I know the word. The player. It's like everything got on top of him.
Oh, you're thinking of overwhelmed, is that it?
That is it, Eamon. Yes, they were overwhelmed. And I think they lost their way, their opportunity. But I'd like to see him back. And finally, in 14th place, Better Idea 2223, who got 1,683 points. Eamon, I have to ask it. Have you anything to say about this manager?
I think I'd like to ask this man, how did they arrive or come up with this name for the team? Better Idea 2223. Better idea about what? It certainly wasn't about the football, because they had no idea. This manager realizes they finished last season in 10th place. This is a complete collapse on their behalf. They started off in 17th place in game week 1 and managed to get themselves up to 11th in game week 2. And that was it then. They didn't do another thing. The rest of the season was a nothing. Like some of the other managers, they switched off and they forgot to switch back on. And like Real Stars, I feel this manager doesn't have a clue, hasn't got the skill set to manage. And both of them will be better off watching cricket or tennis, something like that, that they don't have to be involved with it.
You're back to the cricket again, so Eamon.
Well, I take cricket any day ahead of these two Muppets. I'm not a fan of cricket.
Well, that's the end of the season recap. We'll be back, of course, something different. Hector will be gone, so it could be just Eamon and myself there. We will be taking a break also. Don't worry, folks. We're also still hoping to get some interviews with some of our managers, and we will be putting out feelers for that and trying to organize that as such. We won't have a show next week because Eamon is going to be on holidays, and there's no point in my doing a show by myself, talking to myself.
Well, you could always talk to yourself. I mean, it's Hector does it all the time.
Eamon, why you always trying to bring me down?
I'm sorry, Hector, but I mean, I have heard you talking to yourself. Come on, you have to face it. You were there the other day, and you were discussing this cup of tea. Make the tea, put the tea down, and then you went on. Did you hear this?
I didn't hear this, no, and I'm not sure if I want to hear this.
Oh, you have to. Hector was making a cup of tea. And Hector, he was like this. Oh, I'm not going to even try and do Hector's accent here, but it was, I have the cup of tea and an empty cup, and now I want to boil the kettle. Oh, but I have to put the water in first, don't I? Yes, you do, Hector. This went on for about 5 minutes, all over a cup of tea. And I just thought to myself, this fella's for the birth. He's Lula.
Eamon, I was just going through the emotion. You know, I sometimes like to practice how I speak.
Here you are. And I'm going to add in the tea bag. But will I make it in a pot? Oh, hold on. I need a spoon. Yes, Hector, you need a spoon. I couldn't believe what I heard.
Well, Eamon, I don't know what I'm hearing out of you because I don't know who's worse, Hector talking to himself or you're listening to Hector talking to himself and then trying to tell the rest of us about how Hector is talking to himself.
That's okay. I'm just telling you, it's like that there.
Okay, Hector, final Hector's hellos before you head off? Yes, thank you. Yeah, I nearly forgot about that. Hold on, I get the piece of paper. This week, hello everybody, and you're welcome to Hector's Hellos. This week, I give a big shout out to our listeners in Florida, Boston, New Orleans, in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Toronto, Chile, Argentina. Hi, Mom. You know, I'm going to be coming home. You said Argentina. She's your mom in Brazil. That's right. I was going to say, hi, Mom. I see you next week. All our listeners in Brazil, but you didn't give me a chance. All right. Okay. Carry on. New Zealand, South Africa, Italy, Spain, Portugal. We have listeners in Paris, Australia, Japan, Birmingham, Liverpool, Leeds, Burnley, Glasgow, Aberdeen. We have listeners in Frankfurt on Main. How you doing? Our listeners in Iran as well. And in Ireland here, we have our listeners in Derry, Sligo, Mayo, Galway, Longford, Waterford, Kerry, and Achill Island. As always, Hector, thank you very much. And thank you
to our listeners. So that's about it. We wrap up another season there. We haven't done too bad. We've hit like something in and around 48 episodes. So I wonder what our listeners would do if we're going to do a survey. 9 out of 10 listeners say, just stick to the football, stop all the other old nonsense. So I'd probably come back there. I would say something, Eamon, but I'm not going to say something. We're going to end on a positive note here. And as I said, we won't be here next week, listeners. We will be back, though, in a couple of weeks' time. We'll keep an eye out for updates. Hopefully, Mick will be back with us by then. And, gentlemen, would you like to say anything before we go?
I would like to say a big thank you to our listeners out there. We may not be everybody's flavour or everybody's cup of tea, but our listeners are important to us. I think we talk honestly. We don't try and cover up what we're thinking of our managers. And I hope our managers, at some point, will listen and take note of what we say at times. And I'd like to say thank you to you, host, as well, for all you do. Thank you. Hector?
I want to say that it's great to be on the show. This is season number 3. Looking forward to number 4. And I hope all our listeners have a very nice summer and everybody keep well and see you when we come back.
Okay, folks. And really, all that remains for me to say is to say thank you for joining me along with the lads here. And it's always a pleasure to produce and put out our show for you. And all that remains for me to say is a good morning, a good afternoon, good evening, a good night. Take care of yourselves wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, mind yourselves, and we'll be back.